I don't know how many of y'all use TikTok. I know that TikTok is primarily used by children, but I like to use it even though there's a lot of garbage on there. I like to do some digging and find some gems, and there's some good content creators out there. You know, there's a lot of garbage, but there are a few gems. You know, a little few diamonds in the rough, if you will. And one of the people who's popular there on the platform is Keithley. And if you don't know who Keithley is a guy who does food reviews. So when he does his food reviews, it's either because the business has requested and try to contact him, and they'll usually tell Keithley that, hey, they've been trying to make this work. We got a great place to eat. Our stuff is very delicious, but we don't think the marketing's there because the people aren't showing up. So can you get a review out? Can you come to our place? Can you help us out a little bit, give us some exposure, tell us what you think about our food? And Keithley will go over and try the food, and he'll rate it in his car. And Keith is one of those people who's very honest. He doesn't try to be mean. He tries to be courteous and everything. And I actually enjoy his videos because he be going to a lot of good spots there. I mean, I know with inflation going on, everything is expensive. So, you know, half the stuff that he reviews, I'll probably never go to. But regardless, it is nice to watch those videos. So either his fans will comment on his videos, hey, you should check out this spot over in so-and-so state, or I know a good hole-in-the-wall spot that they serve bomb-ass food, right? And he'll go there and he'll rate it. You know, it gets pretty crazy when people post stuff online about, oh, look at this trending spot, or look at this spot that has the most delicious food you've ever seen, and he'll check it out. And he was actually doing a tour, and so this leads me to the next part of the video, which is talking about the tour of Atlanta, because there's an actual twist that happens here. Because most of the time, 99, I'd say 95-ish% of the time, you know, he'll try the spot and, you know, it's all good. Regardless of whether he personally likes it or not, he gives some critiques that I think are pretty fair. The interactions go well. Very recently, he went to Atlanta to review some places, and he went to a couple different spots. But the reason why Atlanta is so significant right now, at least, or it's been trending for a while, is because Atlanta has been exposed for having some of the worst customer service when it comes to the fast food or the food industry, right? The service industry. And this happened because he went to two spots. Primarily, we're going to focus on the one that happened at this restaurant called The Milk and Honey. And it's one of those places that is trendy. I guess they're known for like soul food or Cajun food. But basically, Keithley tries to go and order some food. And the way he does his reviews, he sends his family in. If he can't order it, he'll send his family in to come get it. This is to also see how they treat his family, because he is famous as opposed to his family, who's anonymous. And, you know, he should keep it anonymous. What's weird is that when he tried to get food at these two places, the Milk and Honey and what's it called, Old Lady Gang, what was weird was that when he sent his, first of all, he couldn't order the food over the phone or on DoorDash. That was the first thing. And then when he tried to go in, he sent his family to go get the food so that he can review it in this car, and they basically refused his family. And they told him, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do it for so and so reason. Basically, they turned down their family. From what I understand, at the Milk and Honey, they had some rules, and it wasn't really the server or the waitress being mean or whatever, but that was just how they ran their spot. But funny enough, when Keithley shows up, all of a sudden they now have an availability, or now they can make him food.
This is one of them. I want to be very clear, we're not blaming one person or saying one person was rude. In plain terms, don't call this restaurant trying to get nobody fired. Ain't nobody do nothing. This is just the rules they had. If you don't like their rules not for you. And for me and my family, the rules just wasn't for us. We just not their target audience. For the record, afterwards, I did walk in and they did recognize me and they attended the services, but I respectfully declined. I'm a normal person. I pay for my food like everybody else. I walk in spots like everybody else. We are all normal people. Respectfully, if you're not gonna do it then, don't do it now. God bless you.
And the thing that gets to me about these sort of places is that like some of these places, and you've probably seen this before, they do not focus on the customer. They don't care about the customer. If you're a commoner, if you're the common man, if you're not someone who's famous, they don't care about you. But as soon as they see someone famous, all of a sudden they change the game. I don't know what it is with these types of places. Apparently, there are people who commented on the videos who said that Atlanta Atlanta is pretty known for this stuff. They're known for not for being trendy. Like the places will be nice, but the flavor won't even be there, you know, it won't even be worth the trip. And what's funny too is that when you look at this clip, there's a clip of Keith Lee actually confronting the lady there as soon as like they tell his family. Like I think this happened at the old lady gang specifically. So when they sent his family in, they told his family that it was gonna have to be an hour and a half wait time, and that was for his family. But then 2 minutes later, after his family gives him the information, he goes in there. All of a sudden, the wait time has been reduced to 5 minutes. Make that make sense, dude.
So I asked how long the wait time has been today. She said an hour to an hour and a half. So which I then asked, how were you able to sit me in 5 minutes? This is her response.
How long are we looking for as far as wait time?
I'm just gonna sit up there. I'm gonna wait this how call came. Now it's whoever first come first serve.
Again, my family just attempted to eat there less than 2 minutes ago. I then told her I changed my mind. We're gonna go eat somewhere else. And I said, God bless you. And I walked out.
On second thought, it's okay. We're gonna go eat somewhere else. So I appreciate it though. For sure. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
Have a good one.
Have a great day.
I'm gonna be very transparent and honest. I am frustrated.
Keith Lee stands on his business, and that's what we need. Atlanta restaurants do this every day, but I bet they are paying attention now. Keith Lee in Atlanta is iconic. From an hour and a half wait to 5 minutes is wild. And that's the thing. That's the thing about it, is that, again, why if you're all about customer service, if you want people to come to your restaurant, why do you not care about everybody who comes to your restaurant? If you're talking about how, oh, you need this help, and you think that, oh, like our food is so good, but for some reason the customers aren't showing up, and just come on over. And then when his family tries to get him food, oh no, we can't service you. Why? Because you're not freaking Obama, you know, you're not freaking the Pope, you know. The biggest backfire though actually has to come from the Real Milk and Honey, because after Keith Lee posted his review, where he starts it off by saying, okay, I got the food, let's review it from 1 to 10, and then he's like, I don't have any food in my hands, and he explains what happened. The Real Milk and Honey restaurant decided to respond in one of the worst ways possible.
Did you see this Keith Lee video about the Real Milk and Honey?
And who is this Keith Lee?
Daddy, you don't know Keith Lee? Yeah.
No.
That short clip tells you everything you need to know about the owner and how he views his customers. Keep in mind, this was Keith Lee. Keith Lee is basically a household name at this point, all right? You talk to anybody who knows anything about food reviewers or food, TikTok or whatever, they have heard of Keith Lee, okay? And this guy, this dumbass, instead of being humble, instead of trying to say, oh, I'm so sorry, you had a bad experience, you know, like trying to apologize and say, please, we'll make it up, man, you know, give us another chance. We'll do you right, you know, we'll do right by you and your family. I'm so sorry. They pretend to own him. They try to do that Eminem thing where they pretend to not know who he is.
Last question. I hate to stir it up, but Afrojack has been talking shit about you. Anything you want to say? Who? Afrojack? Who? That's what I thought.
Which is, I mean, everyone's opinion. Like, I don't know how this guy didn't see it. The stupidest thing you could have done. Why is it that when you get a bad food review or accepting responsibility that, hey, your customer service wasn't on point at that day or whatever, you decide to be like, nah, bro, we're good. Who are you? If this is how they treat Keith Lee, of all people, how will they treat you? And that says something. Keith is, he says he doesn't want to be treated like a celebrity, and he's humble about it, but he's famous, okay? People love to take pictures with him. People are asking him to come to their restaurants, all right? And they wouldn't do it if they didn't trust in the Keith Lee name, in his opinion, all right? Because he gives an unbiased opinion, because he keeps it real, you know? He doesn't lie. He doesn't try to sugarcoat the truth about how he feels, but he also doesn't want to be mean, and he also doesn't want the restaurants that he visits to get hate. He doesn't like to see people fail. When I watch his videos, I genuinely get the sense that this is a guy who wants businesses to succeed. He wants people who've probably spent money, who've probably, you know, invested a lot of time and money, who've probably, you know, are wondering like, hey, are we gonna make it, or can we support our families with this? He thinks like about them and how, like, listen, one bad experience doesn't have to be everyone's bad experience. And that's the thing about him. He is way too generous. In my opinion, he's kind, right? Like, he's a good guy. But the fact fact that like he's kind and he's generous with people, even when he doesn't like or tells you an honest bad experience he had with a place. He makes sure to tell people don't go and leave bad reviews, do not harass these people, don't try to get them to fail. You know, we don't know what's happened to people, you know, what we don't know what people go through basically. And so you have to keep in mind that his bad experience that day, that particular time he visited, might not be the experience you have if you go and visit there. Now, frankly, I like to be a little bit petty, so if he doesn't trust it, I don't trust it. But, you know, and the reason I feel kind of vindicated in thinking like that is because of the way the real Milk and Honey responded. Now, the backlash was so bad. The backlash was so bad for their pathetic excuse of a response trying to roast Keith Lee, trying to say he's a nobody, that they had to put out a response basically saying, whoa, there's a lot of angry people here. We didn't mean for this to happen. There was a situation that happened where a popular food blogger came to our restaurant and we didn't serve him right. Basically, they didn't try to take accountability. They didn't try to admit, hey, maybe, you know, we were wrong about this. Maybe we could have done better. I don't know. Anything to try to convince the public that they care about their customer base, but apparently not, because then they had to put this like stupid corporate PR apology quotations, because really all they try to do is basically it's like a backhanded apology, you know. And just because I like Keith Lee, like, don't, if you ever find those reviews or if you see those videos, don't go and try to ruin their businesses. I mean, their own actions ruin the business for themselves.
Real Milk and Honey really is a ghost town right now. Wow. Saturday and business should be bumping. Like, and it is empty, dude. That's crazy, man.
And like I said, one event doesn't have to be for you to make or break it. There are some moments in life where it will be, but not everything has to be a make or break it. And if these restaurants can come back from it, the more the better, you know? When the best food reviewer, a family man, a family-friendly man, comes to Atlanta to try to do their food review, everybody knows the name. He goes to Atlanta, and all of a sudden, all of these restaurants that apparently I had never heard about either. I didn't know that Atlanta was known for bad customer service in the food industry. Apparently, everyone's talking now, and everyone's exploding with, yeah, I know that the service there is bad, dude. Yeah, bro, this sucks. I live in Atlanta. The service here sucks. These restaurants think they're better than people. These restaurants act like they don't want money. And I mean, who can blame them for the comments, right? But yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I like food. I like food reviews. I like Keith Lee. Don't go harass these people, but I think it's funny to kind of point and laugh. You love to see it. You love to see someone foolishly try to go after a good man. Why? Because it won't last. I think Keith Lee, just in closing, I think Keith Lee is the embodiment of someone who is so good. You know, he's so good-hearted. He really wants the best for people that whenever lies or anything bad is said about Keith Lee, he's so good that people just don't believe it. And I like creators like that. I know we live in this age where people are fake and people do stuff for views, to the point where when people do good stuff, people always have to doubt and try to say that it's about money, it's about fame, even if the creator really is about service, right? About doing good stuff. But I like to see good creators out there where it doesn't matter if someone tries to accuse Keith Lee of something bad because of his actions. He's so good that, his audience stands by him. Granted, we stand by the truth, right? We don't want fan bases that just blindly follow, but the fact that this guy has an audience, has been able to touch so many people, so many small businesses. I've seen videos of it, man. So many people have been able to prosper and blow up and catch their big break because Keith Lee was willing to persevere. Now people watch him and people take him seriously to the point where now he can affect a restaurant, bro. A restaurant can literally go from no customers on a Monday to freaking over full, literally line out the door in a matter of one review, man. That's all it takes. And with people like Lee, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the businesses. But yeah, this is just me talking about, two businesses that weren't that great. The Milk and Honey Old Lady Gang Atlanta. And that's pretty much it.